Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Coach Andy O'Brien, and welcome to another edition of the Epic Entrepreneur Podcast, where we interview the greatest business owners all over the world.
My business is a sweet concept salon, full service salon. We offer every beauty service and some wellness services.
I am with Kristin. Welcome. How long have you been in business?
We opened our first salon in September of 2022, so just over 2 years.
What are the top 3 things that made you successful in business?
So I'm going to say number 1 is responsiveness. I find that in our industry and a lot of industries, and I'm even finding as with myself as a business owner, reaching out to other business owners, responsiveness is key. Just answering, acknowledging the questions, the issues, definitely responsiveness. I would also say organization is key. Knowing what you've got going on and where everything stands at the moment, and constant learning. Of course, the way I know you is through my business coach. I do subscribe to weekly coaching. I take advantage of every opportunity I have with my coach, whether it's a leadership training call or a group event, any networking events she sets me up with. So any opportunity to continue to learn and grow is key. I think when we feel like we know it all, we're done. So there's always more to learn and grow, more room to grow.
That is so powerful. So tell me, I'm going to say being a new business owner, you've already broke through, you've beaten the 2 years, you're into your 3rd year. So tell me, how can others follow in your footsteps? What would you say would be their first action step to do?
First action step is to learn. Hire someone to help you, a coach, a mentor, someone who will show you everything that you don't know. Because I find as a business owner, I was a hairstylist for 35 years before I went into salon ownership. I know everything about cutting hair, but I don't know everything about business and didn't know much about business. So you have to learn it. So I would definitely say learn all you can, gather information, network, and dream and have your goals and your ideas and keep taking that next step. There are so many times a roadblock hits, something gets difficult, and most of us at that point jump ship. We pull the ripcord and we're like, forget it, I'm out. This is hard. Push through the hard things and learn ways around them, because there's always a way around them.
So tell me, obviously 35 years, by the way, you wear it well, and you've been in business. So why did you decide to go out on your own?
Great question. Well, I was a customer of a business like mine for years. As a hairstylist back in 2012, I also desired to go independent and have my own space where I could run my small, tiny little hair business my way, in my space, decorated my way, and all the things. So I started off in a sweet concept salon like mine. 2 years later, I relocated to Wichita. At the time, I was in Olathe, Kansas, a Kansas City suburb. I came to Wichita, and I went into a sweet concept salon that is a franchise, a very well-known big one. Not sure if I'm supposed to mention it, but it's been a great experience. It was Sola Salon Studios. They really pioneered this whole model. So great company. I had 8 great years leasing space from them and building my business. I got to a point where I felt like I was running out of room to grow because of amenities that I desired that they didn't offer. So like a lot of customers, I think we think, you walk into a burger joint or anything and you think, I could do this better. I'd put fewer onions on the burger or whatever, So as a customer of Sola Salon Suites, I was kind of the same way. I thought, wonder if this would work. They should do that. I would do this. So eventually I thought, I'm going for it. I'm just gonna do it, and I'm going to build my ideal salon suite salon, and I'm going to work in there myself, and I'm going to surround myself with other handpicked people who can lease space from me and increase my income. And it all started there. I honestly didn't have this big vision that I'm going to open 1, I'm going to open 2, I'm going to open 3, I'm going to franchise the company and sell franchise units all over the United States. That was never an initial goal at the very beginning, but it has evolved, and I'm grateful.
in all the time, what has been your biggest challenge owning a business and how did you overcome it?
My biggest challenge, I'm going to say, is twofold. It is, as I said before, coming up against obstacles that I didn't know the answer to, I didn't know how to get around, and staying with it even in those times because, it's easy to jump ship and I can cut hair like nobody's business. I can make plenty of money doing that. So staying the course early on was my challenge. Now that I'm in and jumping ship really isn't an option, it's managing the overwhelm and just keeping going forward. I really can't tell you, knock on wood, and after we visit, I'm sure it'll come to me. I'll think, oh, I should have mentioned this, but I really can't tell you of a great, big, huge challenge that I've had. We didn't almost have to close. We don't have those stories yet, and I hope that we never do, right? But I can't really tell you, I haven't had problems with people. I've had tiny problems with tenants, but nothing that's, I'm going to say I have 95%. I'm working with great people. I'm thrilled that they're all in our salons. It's probably even more than 95%. So I can't give you a specific example of a challenge except just the wherewithal to keep forging ahead. And I promise I'm not using this as a plug for Lee. She's not paying me to say this, but that's where coaching has just been so instrumental. And I get frustrated because a lot of people don't want to take the time, initiative, and spend the money for coaching. However, there's nothing better than having that one person you can call that says, I am stuck. I don't know what to do. I want to give up. Who breaks it down and says, is this really a big problem or is this a growing pain? So having a coach is instrumental. And like I said, I just went way off cuff and gave a big plug and that was not intended.
What top piece of advice would you give to the next entrepreneur that comes to you?
Okay, so the next entrepreneur that comes to me and says, I want to do what you're doing, what would be your biggest piece of advice? I think to that person, I would say, learn, study, be resourceful, get your vision in mind, understand that it will change. Like I said, I didn't have a vision to go this far. I had a very small vision, but be open-minded to the fact that may change. It'll evolve. Life events will happen that will change that. Or like in my case, you might find you're really good at it, you're successful, and you're going to go far beyond what you had imagined initially. So be open-minded and stay true to your vision, but understand that it may change and learn everything you need to know to get to where you want to be.
And that's a wrap for today's epic conversation here on Epic Entrepreneurs. If you enjoyed this episode, hit that subscribe button, leave a review, share it, or hit that bell. But until next time, let's make sure you keep dreaming, take massive action, and stay epic.